So we leave Andrew Curry there, and well, there's a few blokes lining up. Here's the first heat of the footballer sprint. Creary, Savic, Refenes, Nix, Carey, Rymes, Bushby, and the man Steve Monaghetti's going to be cheering for Mark Orchard from the Sydney Swans.
I've had a bit of luck here. There have been 3 or 4 scratchings. It could be one of those American race callers, and away they go. Photo. 60 metres. Savic is there. Savic away okay. In fact, he lost it a metre away quickly. Mark Orchard. Look at the boy from Ballarat. He's going to run second and winning it back over on the inside. Stefan Carey, one of the Swans, I think you'll find. Well, Mark Orchard did show a little bit of pace, as predicted by Steve Monaghetti.
Yeah, gee, slowed down in his football days. He should have won by 5 metres there, I thought, Ray. He was quick out of the blocks, but struggle a bit. Maybe he's put on a bit of bulk up there at the Swans.
Well, Stefan Carey, I think, has won it. Second placing will go to Orchard, and the first 3 go through. I think that Lindsey Rymes from the Sydney University Rugby Union Club will get third, and they go through to the final later today.
Well, we saw some techniques earlier, some sprinting techniques. Well,
I think the off-the-shoulder numbers the go here with Orchard. I think that's the go. It's a nice go, off the shoulder.
Well, that was heat 1. Here's heat 2. Hodgson, Babic from Coney, Fredricks, the man that Ray Hadley's got his money on. Spolaric, last year's winner. Burns, White, Milford and Roberts. They're not all there, and Ray's pretty thankful.
We know that, Dave, but are they running?
Well, some of the gear being worn by these rugby league, rugby union, AFL and soccer players is not what you call classic athletics gear. There's a bloke there in a pair of Lowe's shorts you can get for about $9.99 at the moment. In lane number 2, Babic it is. Now Hodgson from Western Suburbs away only fairly. Over on the outside, Spolaric, last year's winners going quickly. And Milford, Laloa Milford from Balmain has won the race. Laloa got there from last year's winner, Bill Spolaric from Warringah Rugby Union Club. And I'm not quite sure whether Zelco Babic from Marconi or Anwar Fredricks, obviously no relation to Frankie, has run 3rd or 4th.
Well, Milford was impressive there, and if he's following in the footsteps of Patrick Johnson, who got signed up for Super League but said, no thank you, I want to represent Australia in track and field, Milford's got some form. I reckon he's the man to beat.
It looks like Andrew Roberts from the Newcastle Falcons has got 3rd over in lane number 9. Oh, gee, he looked again like he was fired out of a cannon, Bill Spolaric.
Well, Milford competes for, get off the track, Dave, and onto the field. Plays for Balmain. Darren Clark's a coach there, so perhaps the former Australian 400-metre champion has had some of the shine rub off on young Milford there for Balmain. And a great scene here.
What do you think that crowd would be now? Are we up over 12 or 14,000?
Well, I'm not sure. I've never seen this many people here, that's for certain. There's heat 3. I reckon it's about 12 or 14. A little bit more than the 3,000 you said earlier.
Well,
here's Whereat. I reckon he's the favourite. Let's get back to the action.
Oh, I was counting the empty seats.
Scott Robinson from Neighbours goes in 3.
You're a nice give-up, you are.
Scott in 4, Allen 5, Lucia, Mutton, Patton and Grant, but Whereat will be all over the favourite here. Won a couple of Bay Sheffields. Certainly has won the footballer's sprint there the last couple of years. Bay Sheffield, I should say the Botany Bay gift.
Yeah. When you're built like Whereat, you're not entitled to wear a singlet, really. I mean, it gives no one else a chance. Whereat, Scott Robinson from Parramatta Rugby Union Club alongside him, but it should be Whereat. Martin Patton, someone I don't know too much about. He may be one of the black Americans trolling with the Roosters.
Shane the Ferret Whereat. Does he run that well, Dave?
He does. He'd be like a rat up a drain pipe here too. He's away good from the blocks. Interesting starting technique on the second outside.
And Whereat began best over on this side of the track. Aaron Grant and Martin Patton go quickly, but Shane Whereat, he's going to be favourite. The South Sydney boy will run second. I think you'll find Aaron Grant in front of Martin Patton, and those 3 likely to go through to the final. And Shane Whereat will start long odds-on favourite to win the rugby league, or I should say the footballer's 60-metre sprint later tonight.
Well, 6.97. Terry Kennedy's dashed out the back to get his money on Shane Whereat, but I think the odds are now well and truly in the red for Shane Whereat. And you can see that there that certainly some experience. And he's certainly been doing some bicep curls in the off-season.
Monis, you were built a bit like that until this marathon caper came upon you, weren't you, in your younger days?
I have done weights in my time, actually, Ray, but I didn't end up looking like Shane, I can tell you. I don't know, I was lifting the wrong ones. Maybe I should have put some weights on the bar as well, might have helped.
Well, a great run there from Shane Whereat. We'll see the final of that race later in the day, so a great opportunity for them also to hit the track with the great Carl Lewis. But Shane Whereat, or perhaps Milford, Ray,
Oh, no, I don't think they'll get near Shane Whereat. Milford comes from a line of footballing brothers there. There's another player, I think, who was with Penrith, Asa Milford, but no, Shane Whereat, I think he'll win the race easily. He has the advantage over the others of having done quite a bit of sprinting professionally prior to taking up his career. In fact, he was spotted at that Botany Bay gift you're talking about by, I think, Jack Gibson, who was connected with the East Club at that time.
Won the Botany Bay gift a couple of times as Shane Whereat, also the Stall gift, so he's certainly got that sprinting pedigree. And he's not a bad rugby league player also, and going around for a new club in 1997 in Parramatta.
Well done, Amanda de Pledge. Fantastic interview there with Carl Lewis and Kathy Freeman as we go to the footballers' final. Patton, Spolaric, Whereat, Forrest, Milford, Grant, Roberts, Orchard and Rymes. And from what we saw in the heats, Ray Hadley, Spolaric, Whereat and perhaps Milford the favourites.
I think Whereat will win by a decisive margin. Kathy Freeman will be the only person in Australia, perhaps in the world, capable of not upsetting Carl Lewis by having a whiff under his Warwick farm and suggesting that he needed some Rexona, one of our sponsors' products, I believe. Perhaps he'd take offence in other cases, but not from the effervescent, smiling Kathy Freeman, who does it so charmingly. Now, Whereat's in 360 metres. Away they go. Whereat began best. Please win, because I don't know too many of the others runners. Yes, Whereat is coming away to win quite well. The young boy from South Sydney, I think it's Bushby, gets up the run second, but Whereat wins the 60-metre sprint quite easily in the end from Bushby. And Milford, and last year's winner, unfortunately, have finished back with the cap catches, but Shane Whereat just too good in the 60-metre footballer sprint.
Yeah, far too good there, Whereat. Milford was a little bit disappointing. Perhaps he left his best form in the heat. Bushby from the Rabbitohs. I think they're still called the Rabbitohs. I'm from Melbourne.
Rabbitohs indeed they are. Many things have changed in rugby league, but not the name of South Sydney, David.
But there's Whereat. And I'm sure he'll be delighted with that win. And he can say that he ran on the day that Carl Lewis stepped foot here in Sydney. We've said it once, I guess we'll say it all day, but it's been Carl Lewis's show here. But Shane Whereat will be happy to share the limelight. In fact, I'm sure he'll be happy for Carl Lewis to take all the limelight. He's got plenty of pace, Whereat. I can see why they love him on the wing at Parramatta. An open paddock could see him over the try line without too many problems. And as the crush continues here in Sydney, we'll take a break.